Hi, this is Chloe here at innerwhispers.co.uk. Today I am absolutely delighted to be unboxing a very recent Christmas present from a dear friend of mine, and I'm lucky enough to have in my hands a copy of the Trippin Waite Tarot. So this was created by Christina Aguiar, who's partners with James Battersby, both of tarotcollectibles.com. And she wanted a funky style Rider-Waite, and so has created these cards, which are mostly a recoloring of the Rider-Waite, but with lots of gorgeous added psychedelic touches, as well as a few things which are just, completely out there. And it also comes with these extra cards, so we shall take a look at those ones as well. So as I say, this is the Trippin Waite Tarot, and here you see the box with lovely psychedelic images on it. I believe this is done through Printer Studio, but it is obviously a Tarot Collectibles product. And as I mentioned, there are some extra cards which came just like this. So we have Imagination with John Lennon, Awareness, Independence, Romantic with the old Beatles, The Times They Are A-Changin', I think that's Bob Dylan, Spiritual, Chillin', Star Power with Ringo Starr, Feelin' Groovy, Speak Up, Stand Out, and Nature. So musically inspired and very lovely extra cards that can be added into the deck to use as you choose, or could also be used as a separate oracle. Let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 of those. So personally, I think I'd probably put them in as extra cards in the deck, but that's just me. So onto the deck itself. Comes without any cellophane wrap, and as you can see, the backs of the extra cards and of the deck are the same, so they will mix in quite easily. And it is not a fully reversible back quite, because there's less green on the top end than there is on the bottom, but depends how important it is to you for it to be fully reversible. It's not quite. And this version is with borders and titles. I'm not sure if you can also get it without the borders and titles. Possibly, that's often an option they offer. But as I say, this was a gift, so this is how it comes. And it's nice as well, it does give it a good frame. And straight away with the Fool, I mean, look at these colours. It's just, the backgrounds are, I don't know, almost Zentangly with extra shapes and what have you, really nicely done. And like the green bag, so it's altering some of the traditional interpretations, perhaps, if you go by traditional colour interpretations and so on, but I think in a very interesting and fun way, and I certainly am a fan. The sun is more prominent than it would normally be, I think. And also I like the sort of purple inside sleeves. That's a nice touch as far as I'm concerned. Then our very hippy-dippy CND piece touting Magician with this. It's a sort of magical rainbow, very similar to the back. Our High Priestess with an all-seeing eye above her and no pillars, so that's interesting as the choices go. And the Empress with some very cute bunny rabbits and bees as well, and this kind of the rainbow almost wrapped around her, which works nicely too. An old hippie as the Emperor, I love it. And the Guru instead of the Hierophant, that's a nice touch. The Lovers, naked but with kind of tattoo artwork on them, and a beatnik angel, a peace beatnik angel, love it. The Chariot yes, very odd colours. I like the bit that's been done in the background. I'm not sure about the yellow skin, but hey, other than that. And I like the fact that we have this yin-yang symbol in between the two sphinxes. That works very nicely indeed. Strength is not that different except for this sort of sunflower bit and also obviously the colour of her dress. And the background actually I think has changed. It's normally just rolling fields. So, you know, there's definite changes here while keeping the real Rider-Waite vibe. And our ever-present rainbow with some stars added in as well for the Hermit in green. The Wheel of Fortune. Justice. Quite different because she's kind of out on clouds rather than inside somewhere. And the Hanged Man with butterfly wings. Gotta laugh. Death in a very golden outfit. Makes me think of the song Silence is Golden, given the whole musical theme. And once again, Temperance has been turned into a more feminine aspect, and with magical rainbows flowing between the cups as well as behind her. And yeah, it's interesting, there's this kind of almost like the bits flowing from the Ace of Cups in the background. I don't know if you know what I mean, but hey. Oh, and the rainbow is also in the water. Lovely. This devil looks very happy with himself, it has to be said. That's what I think you'd call a shit-eating grin. And our two people, we have a person in a sort of Chinese hat and someone in a sort of military uniform but with CND peace symbols on it and bombs dropping and the bomb hitting. A very interestingly different tower. We have what looks almost like a whirlpool above, and the tower is actually underwater as part of a ruins along with what looks like a sort of Parthenon style thing and a sphinx-like thing. So yes, and with mer people there. I think that's a merman and a mermaid swimming down and away from the tower. So very different, rather lovely. I like that. The star, almost Marseille-esque colours, you know, the blue lady and sort of purple and gold, and it turns into a rainbow and the stars around in this swirly pattern. Interesting. The moon, oh, look at that face looking down in a very different way with this weird, I don't know whether to call them like flower-like things or cloud. I mean, they're a bit too sort of rigid for clouds, but so I really like the way that the moon is looking down, very different perspective. And a Joker-esque sun in this sun card. And a very interesting angel here, very young looking. Yeah. So these look very dead and very unreal, and he looks almost hyper-real, far more, and with musical notes coming out of his trumpet. So harking back to our musical aspect. We have, I love this, world with golden wings and an afro haircut. So she's absolutely lovely. And the Ace of Pentacles, it's melting. Yeah. Our guy here in the Two of Pentacles has super crazy hair, and he's juggling two CND symbols. And that is the theme for all of these. So we've gone from the pentacle really to the CND symbol, and here their sort of plan is even of that as opposed to being of the whole church, which might be more what you would expect. And look, little rainbow bits here in his clothes. Our miser looks very grumpy. He's got nothing behind him. He's in his own little world, so locked in and closed off. But yeah, he doesn't look happy despite the rainbows, it must be said. And some interesting touches. There's a heart letting us look into what's inside her clothes. Lovely fabrics. And multicoloured brickwork in the building behind. Ooh, back to straight up pentacles for the 6 of Pentacles, but funky psychedelic clothes on these people. Well, him too, actually. And he looks very fun. I like this background as well, the kind of Zentangle, colourful background, and then him with his rose-tinted glasses looking at... I have to say that looks like a plant that could make you a fair bit of money, as opposed to just something to eat. Well, though people do that too. And a cowboy kind of 8 of CND signs guy, so that's funny. Yeah. Ooh, sort of elegant 9 of Pentacles with heart rainbows and purple, and she's definitely fully in with the CND thing, and what a cool hat. And here, the happy family, he's got a headband. Is this the Emperor again? It might be. That's an interesting touch. Our page. Our knight. Things are going a bit squiffy. The Queen, once again with bunnies. And I don't know, is that a hummingbird as well? And there's some fly Garrick mushrooms in the background too, so yeah, she's definitely tripping. And the King of Pentacles, far more golden. So Ace of Cups, purple cloud, rainbow background, and 2 doves instead of just 1, holding the CND symbol between them. Peace, man. Make love, not war. They're treading the grapes as well as holding them high, and with lots more bounty around them. And yeah, fun. Oh, I love this. The idea that he's like a, I don't know, a troubadour or a singer going around singing his woes or her woes. It kind of looks like it might be female. So, and very open to interpretation here, but certainly that thing of perhaps putting your pain and sorrow into something where it will actually be used therapeutically and could be creative and artistic. I like it. 6 of Cups children with rainbows in the background. And yes, some interesting choices for what will help you trip in your Trippin Waite tarot, with fly Garrick, some more marijuana leaves. I don't know if that's still just jewels, and yeah, so some of this are the same and other bits are different. And once again, this lovely thing. The moon looks very different in this purple thing, and yet you could imagine, you know, yeah, it's got that purple haze feeling to it. Oh, love it. The genie in the lamp, which, you know, is so often, it's been nicely melded in, so yes. And that looks a little bit twisted, but hey. So quite a different kind of feel to it somehow. The path makes it feel quite different, and the rainbow, instead of being that way, is double spirals. And this child seems to have fairy wings on, or something of the sort. Very fun and playful. Far more obvious fish jumping out of the Page of Cups, fully looking him in the eye, and he's laughing at it. Little starfish I like too. And the Knight of Cups, very odd coloured horse. The Queen of Cups, with these mad waves all around her. And the King of Cups, his waves are a bit less mad. They seem lighter, and yet they are also all-encompassing. And 2 dolphins as well. We have the Ace of Swords. I love this card. I mean, I'm often a fan of the 2 of Swords anyway, but this is a beautiful way of doing this card. So I love her outfit and her hair and her sunglasses and just the whole thing. It's great. A nice, well, I'm not sure if you can call something where there's a heart and an eye stabbed through with stones nice, but, you know, the bubbles and whatnot, it's certainly an interesting thing, maybe reminding us how much our thoughts are just imaginary and illusory. Oh, and look at him, dressed very differently. 4 swords all above. He's got his record collection to help him along. And yeah, so maybe he's just listening to music in his room to chill, man. He has bent the rainbow. The whole system is bent. And a much more cheerful rainbow between clouds for this rough to peaceful 6 of swords. 7 of swords, all stripy. 8 of swords. Oh, she's got the moon in there with her as well. Interesting. And the 9 of swords, it's all melting, which does make it more obvious that it's a dream, imagination, illusion. And we've got the weird bubbles back again for the 10 of swords, with bright blonde hair and, yeah, cloth across, dyed pink with blood perhaps. Page of swords with gorgeous fairy wings. Love it. And, ooh, the Knight of Swords. His horse has got interesting hair and wings as well. This version of the Queen of Swords is a far gentler looking one, with her wavy locks and her downcast gaze and lots of extra butterflies around, as well as the lovely ever-present rainbow. And the King of Swords, still quite harsh, but with his C&D symbol. And the Ace of Wands. Oh, it's like coming out of cupped hands as well as this side hand. Interesting. The 2 of Wands, with his, instead of a globe, he has a sort of heart-shaped globe, if that makes sense. And yeah, funky clothes. So yes, the rainbow in his clothes also, and the ship's very clear. Here it looks almost like they're, I don't know, because there's land on the other side rather than it just being sea. So it definitely opens it up to a variety of interpretations. And weird Zentangle, hills rising in the distance with the happy celebrants close to the front and a purple sun. And it looks quite hectic and crazy in this little battle, with hats and wings and all sorts thrown into the mix, as well as 2 doves which aren't managing the piece very well yet. Fun 6 of Wands. And ooh, the 7 of Wands is a little fairy with bees attacking. Ooh. Defending the flowers, defending the hive, I don't know. And more butterflies with the 8 of Wands. The 9 of Wands, it looks a lot more verdant and lush and hopeful, at least on his side. And the 10 of Wands, going to this little hut rather than up a huge mountain. Seems a little easier, perhaps. Our Page of Wands. I love the spotty leggings. And the Knight of Wands. Queen of Wands with her black cat still, and sunflower. And the King of Wands, spirally. And here it seems we have some various versions of the Make Love Not War, and a different version of the 3 of Cups as well. I think I prefer the other one. A different version of the Devil. He hasn't got the shit-eating grin this time, but he's got a couple of hippies in chains instead of the other people. And weird googly eyes. And a different version of the Fool. That one's fun too. So yes, you can make your choice here. The Hanged Man, I think it's quite the same. It's the colouring that's different. And the Moon, oh my, that's rather more crazy looking. I think I'd stick with the other one. And the Star, green instead of blue. And oh, a different version of the Sun with like a Ganesha Hindu feel to it. I rather like that. A different version of the Ace of Cups with a lighter and darker bird instead of 2 white doves. And a different version of the Tower, much more fiery. I rather liked the difference of the mermaid underwater tower. But hey, you have those to choose from. So this is the Trippin Waite. I'm going to take the extra cards out until I can sort of sort them and what have you. Yeah, to there. So let's have a little shuffle. So you can see the colours from that bit on the sides. The cardstock shuffles quite easily. Give it a quick riffle. So there's a certain snap to it, and today this card makes me think of how our battles can often feel absolutely ginormous and overwhelming, and yet because these are little fairy creatures fighting it, that perhaps things are smaller than they seem and more playful, or perhaps more easily dealt with if we do take a playful approach and look for the possibilities of peace. Blessed be.